Hello again, friends. I just wanted to share with you today some information about journaling. I find journaling to be pretty helpful in just writing out my random thoughts. Uh, just sort of like it's a dump, right? You just brain dump onto a page, and it helps because if there's nobody to talk to, or if you just want to vent, you can just scribble it all out. And more than that, I've found that it helps me find things that I forgot I wanted to do. My to-do list grows while I'm journaling. Like every morning, I sit down and I do this thing called morning pages. And it's an idea that came from this book, The Artist Way, which a friend of mine recently told me about and got me kind of hooked on. And there's like a starter kit that I found on Amazon for like 19 bucks, and it came with that book and a journal. And it's a big journal. The thing is, the pages are so huge. I went up like writing tons of stuff, and it takes me a while to because you do like 3 pages a day, and every morning, and I start writing, and I write all kind of random stuff. I mean, half the time you start out, you're like, I don't know what to write, and these pages are huge, and how am I going to fill these pages? And before you know it, all of a sudden it's like, what kind of things would I like to do if I went on a little, just adventure today? And then you think about, well, there's restaurants I could go to, there's a bookstore I want to visit, I wanted to go over to the beach. And then you start planning out days, and then you think, oh my gosh, I forgot to schedule service for my car, I forgot to do this. Or I had this great idea for a video where I could share about journaling with people. There's just a ton of things you can do. And the thing that really got me kind of started initially was this little journal I got from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Those guys are awesome. I went on their site, I found all these resources for education, and they sent me books on stress management and nutrition and all kind of things. And one of the things they had was this journal that came with this cool little pencil box that had some colored pencils inside it. And I mean, it's probably for kids. In fact, I think it said it was, but I'm a big kid. I'm still a kid. And, um, there's all kind of notes that you make to yourself here, things about your health plan, stay calm strategy, uh, all sorts of things you can do to take care of yourself, drink more water, and then you have coloring pages. I mean, how cool is that? Does it get much better? And in fact, yeah, I haven't colored these, as you can see, but the thing is, when you're distracting yourself, kind of, or just creatively expressing yourself, it helps. It helps you to get out these feelings that you may have bottled up, right? Because when I first got diagnosed, I was sort of like numb, and it wasn't until I started communicating that I started to feel a lot better. And even if it's just putting it on a page and keeping track of my thoughts, I don't even keep track of them. I don't really go back and read what I wrote. I just write how I'm feeling that day. And it kind of helps because even though you may not solve the problem right there, at least you've kind of listed it out. And a lot of times while you're just doodling, you can draw in here. You don't have to write, your next, great American novel. Uh, no matter what you're doing, your mind is kind of like doing its little thing in the background. I know this is like crazy saying, yeah, you're not going crazy. But back here somewhere in your subconscious, wherever it is, you've got your mind is kind of thinking about what's important to you, what do you need to work out, and how are we going to do that. And so maybe later in the day you're out for a walk or doing something, and then all of a sudden this idea comes to you, hey, I need to take care of that, or I could do this, or this would be awesome. All sorts of things. I've been thinking of all kind of things that I want to do that I hadn't really thought of in a long time, and it came out because I just started journaling, and then I would say something about where I used to live or something. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, when I was there, I used to do this, and oh my God, I haven't done that in forever. So journaling is a neat thing to do, and you may come up with some brilliant ideas. You can write math equations in here. I don't think anybody's going to object because you're the only one reading it. Yeah, and I got like tons of scribble in this one too. Um, so yeah, get a journal. Just you don't have to get anything fancy. And I mean, these are great books. This is like a whole program of creativity. It's like a weekly thing you go through. You read the chapter. There's a bunch of tasks to do. Get out of the house and go to the museum or go to a movie or something. Just simple things that kind of get you to open up and be more creative and be able to express yourself well, even if it's just to your journal. But yeah, you might want to get a smaller book than this because these pages are huge. I mean, it's good to write that much. I mean, but look at that's a lot of stuff I wrote. My gosh, I'm writing a book. Maybe I should write a book. I don't know, but journaling is it's therapeutic. It is, and so is making these videos. Honestly, half of the reason I do this is for me, maybe more. I don't know, but if it helps somebody else, if you feel better, if you try something that I suggest and you like it, that's awesome. Tell me about it. Put a thing in the comments and let me know what works and what doesn't, and give me suggestions for other things because I still have a ton of videos I want to make about other different types of approaches to managing stress. It's not all just yoga and breathing and meditation, although those are helpful. And I would recommend making a daily practice of these things because you're sort of building a foundation, right? If you're going to go to the gym and you have a goal for, lifting a certain amount of weight, you have to build up to it, right? And going and exercising regularly, you're building this foundation of fitness upon which you can then work to meet other goals if those are your objectives, right? I want to do deadlift of 300 pounds. I mean, if you could do that, you're awesome. I mean, that's hard, but you're going to have to work up to it. And even if you just go and exercise regularly, you still have this, you're maintaining this level of fitness. And it's the same kind of thing when you do journaling. You're getting a practice going of expressing your feelings, not bottling things up. You're just having a conversation with yourself, but you may discover things that have been kind of not on your radar because you haven't really been consciously thinking about them, and they just kind of pop up while you're writing. Same thing with like yoga and meditation. While you're on the mat doing something, when you're holding a position or something like that and you've got a little bit of tension or you're trying to find that spot where how flexible am I? Or, you don't want to hurt yourself, but how far can I go? And then you reach this level where you're uncomfortable. Then as you hold it, you start to you get comfortable with discomfort. And there's a value in having that. You can tolerate things more. Same thing, meditating, thoughts pop up. You watch them, you realize, wow, I didn't realize I was so worried about this thing. There's a lot of these tools that are helpful for just learning more about yourself, and that can give you insight and knowledge that helps you recognize something that you need to work on and maybe motivate you to go find some strategy for dealing with it. And, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed anything. I am only here sharing things that have worked for me. And honestly, if you're struggling, there is nothing wrong with seeking help. In fact, people are trained, they've gone to school, worked very hard to try to help us work through mental issues and things that are overwhelming to us. So, if you need help, reach out. That's what they're there for. And, they want to help you. Good people in the medical field, very good, and we should seek their services when we need them. There's nothing wrong with that. It's going to help you, and you're going to feel better. So, maybe you can write about that in your journal. I don't know. I think I have written about that at least once or twice. And so, just buy a cheap little book, spiral bound. It's easy. They fold open easily. One thing about this other one I have is like a regular paperback. And so writing on, when I get towards the binding part of the margin, it's kind of hard to fit my hand in there sometimes, depending on where I'm at in that book. But write to yourself. You'll be surprised maybe about what you uncover, and maybe you probably have some fun. Draw some pictures, write a song, write a book, write a short story, write a poem. It's all up to you. So have fun with that, and we'll see you next time. Bye.